yield my time to Congressman Suan since I was given a 9-minute interjection earlier. Thank you.
So you're yielding your time to Congressman Suan. Okay, Congressman Suan, you're recognized.
Thank you, Congressman Paulo, Deputy Majority Leader. May I request, Mr. Chair, that we also extend to the former President the same leniency that you extended for Congressman Raj and Congressman Zia. Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious. I'm certain that you believe that the way you conducted the drug war was legal. Am I correct?
That was the way I viewed how to control the crime, sir. The best way that I could have possibly undertaken sa isip ko as president. It was my sole single discretion.
Okay, sir.
Nothing could have moved without my order.
You say so. But I'm curious, if that was your belief, why did the Philippines withdraw from the International Criminal Court?
Hindi man, it has nothing to do with itong kaso.
The drug war. May I know the reason why you withdrew from the International Criminal Court?
It's a silly court.
I'm sorry, sir?
It's a silly court.
It's a silly, okay. It's a silly court.
Walang ginawa yan. Wala namang nakulong. Wala namang basta puro demanda yan. We have seen a lot of leaders, world leaders from Africa committing acts of murdering his people, murdering his neighbor. Wala man ako nakita, sir, na narinig nila na nakulong hanggang ngayon.
But were they actually members of the International Criminal Court, though?
Yes, sir.
They were also members?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And yet they were not tried?
They were tried, but wala kang nangyari.
Okay. Have you ever thought of actually facing the International Criminal Court instead of withdrawing? Had it ever crossed your mind back then?
Sir, hindi ako believe sa puti. I would rather face a Filipino. Baski ako, wala akong abogado. Ako lang. And he can sentence me to death or to reclusion perpetua. Basta korte ng Pilipino, I will abide by it. I will not allow a foreigner to judge me for the things that I had to do during my time as President of this Republic.
So you trust the Filipino courts more than the ICC?
Of course, sir.
Okay.
Of course, and they can have the special prosecutor or whatever. Sila na ang mamili. The administration, kung sino man ang nandyan, will have a choice of what prosecutors, kung anong tawagin nila, o create a special court. Wala akong problema, sir. Congress can do it. They can enact a law creating a special, and they can go back to the so-called crimes that I committed, and I will willingly submit. Pag sinintensihan ako ng korte, sir, ng Pilipinas, okay ako. Even if it is really against my freedom.
Okay, Mr. President. Although I seem to remember that some of the Filipinos who went to the ICC, I think maybe one of the reasons why they went there instead of going to our domestic courts was maybe they were concerned that they could not get the same justice here in the Philippines as they could in the International Criminal Court. how would you reconcile that with your belief?
Then they don't deserve to be Filipinos residing here. They're better off where they think the courts are good for them. Hindi ako mag-surrender ng foreign court, sir. Never. I will not allow myself to take to place under jurisdiction of any court. Pilipino ako, mamatay ako na Pilipino, makulong ako na Pilipino before a competent judge, a competent prosecutor, and I have a defense counsel, ang kagaya ng katabi ko, pati yung sa likod ko, they are all good, and I know that I will be acquitted.
Salamat kayo, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Masarap.
I would like to ask questions from former Senator Trillanes. I heard earlier that you filed several cases against the former president. And one of those was regarding drugs. And what was the second case that you filed?
Bali, Mr. Chairman, 3 plunder cases ang final ko kay laban kay Duterte at isang illegal drug smuggling case laban kay Pulong Duterte and Manscarpio.
So 2 plunder tapos isang
Tatlo po.
3 plunder cases
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
and 1 drug smuggling case.
Yes.
So you filed 4 separate cases against the Duterte family.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What was the earliest case that you filed?
Yung una po, yung 2016 na final ko. At yun nga po yung inimbestigahan ng ombudsman at in the course of their investigation, ito pong si Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Carandang ay na-confirm niya na validate niya yung ano ko, Mr. Chairman, yung mga documents na sinubmit ko doon sa nung hiningi niya yung documents sa AMLAC. So the documents I presented here were the same ones.
The ones that you showed earlier
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
here in the screen?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So those were the basis of the case that you filed in 2016.
2016. Yes.
And what case was that again? Plunder?
Plunder. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So who were the accused in that case?
Siya lang po, Mr. Chairman. Siya lang.
And what happened? What was the basis for you filing that case?
Yun nga po, yung
Just the documents
yes,
itself?
and mga COA documents regarding yung mga ghost employees niya sa Davao.
Is that another case or is that
Part po yun nung plunder case kasi
in 2016?
in 2016 kasi what's happening sa Davao, meron silang peace and order funds na ginagamit nila, mga ghost recipients, tapos ang pang-clear nila at kasama nga dyan yung testimonya rin nila Edgar Matobato at ni Arturo Las Cañas na nakakakuha sila ng mga allowances from those peace and order funds. Yun po ang basis nun, Mr. Chairman.
May I
That-
respond?
Yes, Mr. President.
Kung bright ito, naging presidente sana siya. Bakit ako naging... Siya ang nakulong. Mutiny.
Let's go back to the...
Let's go back to history. Anong kasalanan ko?
Mr.
Anong
Chair,
kasalanan nito?
Mr. Chair,
Yung witness...
Congressman Akop,
point of order lang.
what is the point of order?
May I remind our members not to ask question or shall we say permit a resource person to speak unless the chairman says so. That is the rule of this committee. Kanina pa po kami nandito, hindi kami kumikibo. Kasi yun po ang rule. So we must follow our rules to have an orderly proceeding. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for reminding
I submit,
the chair.
Mr. Chair.
Please be reminded of the rule of this committee in allowing members or resource persons to speak. The chair must recognize them first. Please keep that in mind. You may
Mr. Chair.
continue.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. President.
This is not really to debate with you. It might be improper. Pero, sir, before we can be really stand corrected, we must know the rules first. Kung may kopya sana kami, alam namin how to behave. The problem is, kayo lang may kopya ng rules ninyo, wala naman kami.
Okay.
So hindi namin masunod yung
The concept is directed to provide copies, several copies to the resource persons here of the rules of procedure governing inquiries in aid of legislation. Please provide them. Now, you please continue,
Thank you,
Congressman Suan.
sir.
May I ask again, former Senator Trillanes? So let's go back to the case that you were talking about, the first case. So what happened to the deputy ombudsman, right, Karandang?
Yes, the Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Karandang confirmed that the documents that I attached when I filed the case was the same set of documents from the AMLAC, from the Anti-Money Laundering Council that they requested. So,
Who requested?
the Ombudsman as part of their investigation.
So what happened to the first case?
So they cannot dismiss it because everything was valid and was validated. So what the Duterte did was he fired the deputy ombudsman na nag-iimbestiga. Ganun po 'yon. So nung napalitan na, edi nag-stall na ang kaso.
What
So,
is the status of the case right now?
It's still shelved. So probably once we get a new ombudsman, then these things would start moving, Mr. Chairman.
Say something. Sir,
Mr. Chair.
With the indulgence of Congressman Suan. Yes, Mr.
Yes,
President.
Mr. President.
wala tayong pakialam sa ombudsman. We cannot interfere. Alam ninyo yan, baski sino. Lalo na mga politiko.
Yes,
Wala tayong pakialam sa ombudsman. We cannot tinker with the ombudsman. And you can call him here and ask him questions. Hindi pwede talaga yung unless, sir, if you are not a self-respecting lawyer, kung wala kang delikadesa, sir, ganon. Pero ganon naman ako, sabi ko kanina pa, insisting na mahirap lang ako. I have a set of rules in my life and I follow rules in the civil aspect of my life. And naging physical ko.
thank you, Mr. President. That's noted. Yes, please proceed.
Okay, let's go back to the case. Senator Trillanes, you said that your case involved plunder.
Yes, yes, Mr. Chairman. And let me just add, Mr. Chairman, Duterte keeps on saying na he cannot interfere, pero it is on record, kahit i-google po natin ngayon, Mr. Chairman, he fired. Pinatalsik niya sa pwesto yung nag-iimbestiga nung kaso niya, the Deputy Ombudsman Arthur Karandang, who was earlier invited by the chairman para maririnig po sa kanila kung ano talaga yung nangyari po doon sa investigation po na yun.
Mr. Chair, was the former Assistant Ombudsman invited here?
We have not sent an invitation to him, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, it's been moved earlier, Mr. Chair. It's been moved earlier.
Oh, I stand corrected. Yeah, there was a motion earlier.
Mr. Chairman, I'm the one that moved to invite former Deputy Ombudsman Karandang because we need to check the authenticity of such claims made by former Senator Trillanes. Well, in fact, I'd just like to correct the statement of the President, former President. We can invite ombudsman, and it's up to them to attend. But being a former congressman, being a former deputy ombudsman, we can invite him to shed light on the matters that was raised by former Senator Trillanes.
I agree, Mr. Chair. Since
Thank you,
he is
Mr.
no
Chairman.
longer the ombudsman, then
Yes, sir.
it would be better to invite him too.
More so that there is there is something cast an aspiration against the office. It is in keeping with our government to make it good and really safe for everybody to have justice and well, what is safe administration of the laws of the land?
We'll make sure that the former Deputy Ombudsman will attend the subsequent hearings of the Quad Committee, Your Honor. So you have 2 more minutes left, Congressman Suan.
Senator, the crime of plunder is quite serious, and I think there is a minimum amount of, there is a threshold before plunder can be alleged. How much was the amount involved in this case that you filed?
Doon po sa first case, 728 million, thereabouts, yung involved. Tapos, doon naman po sa isa, 6.6 billion pesos yung involved. At ito po
Is
kasi...
this the drug case?
No, the infrastructure projects na inaward ni Duterte doon sa tatay at kapatid ni Bongo when he was still the special assistant to the president. So, yan po, maliwanag po kasi first degree of consanguinity, sila yung nakikinabang nung mga pondo na yon. Then the third one is yung 16 billion peso frigate scam. At nalugi po doon yung...
Can you tell us more about this?
Yes. So, yung case po na yon, yung sa frigate scam, nagkaroon po ng kontrata na bibili ang Pilipinas ng worth 16 billion or something from a Korean company. So, nagkaroon po ng kontrata. Tapos doon po sa kontrata, iba't ibang brand ng equipment ang nakalagay. Ito yung mga primera klase na brand ang nire-request ng...
What do you mean by primera klase?
Yung pinakang high-end or what was this? First
First-hand, not second-hand?
No. Ano po, Mr. Chairman? First class. Yung pinakamagandang klaseng equipment na ginagamit din ng ibang mga Navy. At yun po ang nasa kontrata. Tapos nung napirmahan na yung kontrata, nung nag-assume na ang Duterte administration, ay suddenly pinalitan nila ng mga mahihinang klaseng brand yung mga equipment. At in short, parang ang analogy po doon, Mr. Chairman, parang kang bumili ng Mercedes-Benz, pero yung makina ay pang owner na jeep, parang ganon. So, ganon po ang diniliver. Kaya malaki po ang kinita ng kontraktor at nilabi po yon nito ni Duterte at ni Bongo to the point na nung ino-oppose ito ng flag officer in command ni Admiral Mercado, dahil nilalaban niya yung kailangan ng Navy, tinanggal po siya unceremoniously nito ni Duterte.
Who was removed?
Si Admiral Mercado, Mr. Chairman. Ginagawa lang naman yung tama at nilalaban kung ano yung nasa kontrata. Pero naareglo na nila eh. Siya po yung tinanggal, Mr. Chairman.
Call the Navy. Anya, baka sunod ito sa Air Force na.
Okay.
Please proceed.
So, what happened to the third case?
Yung third,
The one involving the frigates?
nasa investigation phase, Mr. Chairman. And by the way, liliwanagin ko lang po, no, na I didn't say anything negative about the current ombudsman. I'm just saying baka meron po siyang ibang mga priorities kaya hindi po niya natututukan itong nauna kong final na case. And let's hope that that will change in the months to come.
And last question, Mr. Chair. What happened to the second case, the one where you said involved 6.6 billion for infrastructure projects?
Final ko po yan sa DOJ. As far as I know, ano rin po, nasa investigation and case build-up phase. Pero yan po, lahat ng dokumentong pinasa ko dyan ay mga COA and DPWH contracts at documents. So, yan naman po, itong tatay at kapatid ni Bongo na wala pong AAA license, ang ginagawa po nila, ang modus nila, nagpa-partnership sila, kunyari, doon sa isang may AAA contract. Tapos, pero ang lahat ng nakapirma, even yung mga nagkiklaim ng checks, ay yung tatay at kapatid ni Bongo. At maliwanag po yun na sila po ang nag-benefit beyond the threshold na 50 million, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. May I just manifest, Mr. Chair, that I don't think that the Ombudsman is sitting on his duties.
Correct.
Anyway, that's
Okay, thank you.
that's the last of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Suan.
Call the attention of the
Chairman.
Ombudsman.
We will
Mr. Chairman.
we will invite the former deputy ombudsman.
And charge them for negligence or delay, whatever. They have to make answerable. Everybody in this
we will
government
we will
should
study
be
that,
made to
Mr.
answer
President. We will study
for
that,
any
and if we,
negligence, delay, or for willful.
Mr. Chairman.
we will study that, Mr.
Mr.
President.
Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
As part of the position of the chair to study that case that was mentioned by the former Senator Trillanes, may we direct the former Senator to submit in this committee all the cases that he filed in the Ombudsman before the next hearing?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please submit to this committee before the next hearing.
Yes, Mr.
Para
Chairman.
po, we can discuss it. Wala namang subjudice dito.
Yes,
No?
Mr. Chairman.
But of course, the merit of question of yung sinabi ni former President, let us see. No? Let us see what will be the action of, well, in fact, kung may nakita tayong problema, kahit sinong citizen of this country can file a case against those sitting officers in the Ombudsman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Congressman Paduano. The next to interpolate is Congressman Jojo Lara. You have 10 minutes.